Hello everyone, welcome to the party. I just wanted to hop on really quick and share some of our favorite books that we have. I'll try to make it quick because we're going to start the party in a few minutes. It's always hard just to make it quick though because there's so many that we really love in our house. So if you've never attended one of these Facebook book parties before, I just like to hop on, kind of explain how that's going to work, share a couple of my favorites, and then pop off and we'll get the real party started. So if you've never been to a book party on Facebook, I try to make it as simple as possible. I'll be posting the welcome post right at the start of the party. And then after that, about every 5 minutes apart, there'll be another post kind of showing a different range of some of the books that Usborne has to offer. There's over 2,000 books to choose from on the website, so that's a lot. So my goal is to kind of show you a good range of them, give you some personal recommendations if that's something that you would like. And then at the end of the party, there'll be a shopping post. It'll have the link to the Usborne website. And so you'll actually, we'll be leaving Facebook and going to the Usborne website to go check out even more books that we have to offer. A couple ways to search that site. You can search by your child or little one's interest, maybe space or science or princesses in the search bar. Or if you click the shop tab on the left side, there'll be a bunch of different categories you can choose from. Let me know if you get stuck anywhere or if you want to see a little bit of a closer look inside of any of the books. I would love to send you some video links or tag you and post some links because just a single picture on the website doesn't do these amazing books justice. It doesn't show how beautiful they really are, just with that quick little glimpse. So let me jump into showing some of our favorites and then I'll pop off and then in a couple minutes we'll get this party rolling. So a couple of the books that really drew me into Usborne when I discovered them about 3.5 years ago when my son was 6 months old. I kind of was not planning on attending the party because I had 3 different failed attempts to figure out a book party on Facebook and I was frustrated with that and didn't plan on going to another. And so I think I clicked maybe and was bored, clicked on a notification. Hopefully you'll do the same. And I watched that very first video and fell in love with these books. And one of the books that I saw was the Slide and See books. So these are baby toddler books. This is actually the same one that I purchased. My very first purchase from Usborne Books More was the Slide and See Jungle Animals. It's a very thick hardboard book paged interactive book for toddlers. My son loved that he can kind of control these little movable parts and sliders, and I wasn't afraid that he was going to damage any of the books, and so he really enjoys these Slide and See books and still does today. Never be afraid of damaging any of our books. Usborne has an amazing replacement policy, so any of the books that you purchase are backed by a lifetime replacement for half price. So maybe if a flap gets torn or these books get wet or damaged, Usborne will replace them for half of your purchase price. So that is a great benefit of purchasing through Usborne Books More. Another that we are really known for are our touchy-feely books. This is the That's Not My Llama, but there are so many different That's Not My books. Mermaids, unicorns, tigers, zoo animals, bats, so many different kinds. Each of these books have little touchy-feely, scratchy textures. Each of the pages are That's Not My Because, and then at the end, That's My Llama because its ears are so soft. And they have a similar storyline for each one, so it makes kids be able to learn that repetition and kind of be predicting the story that's going to happen. Another that we really love are the Peek Inside series. These are similar to the Peek Inside series, same size books. This is the Lift the Flap very first questions and answers, and this is the Peek Inside fairy tales. So if you have a fairy tale lover, this is one of my favorite, Beauty and the Beast. It has these beautiful laser cut pages, has lots of fun flaps that they can explore. I love that this book kind of takes you through the different scenes in the castle and out in the courtyard. Has its own little spin at the end, but the illustrations are super bright and beautiful. It's kind of hard to see on the video. The very first questions and answers, we have so many different topics like what is the snow, what is the potty, why do I brush my teeth, what are germs, what are poop, what are the stars, what are the moon, and so they're just these adorable illustrations, lots of little flaps that teach them very simplified versions of questions and answers that they might come up with. What is it like on the moon? And so it kind of teaches them about the moon. There's a star one as well that I really love, but so many different topics, sleep, all different topics that your little toddler will typically ask. Another that we really love are the Lift the Flap questions and answers books. This is the Lift the Flap questions and answers animals, but we have some about body, space, science, about the world, about plastic, so many different topics. And these ones are great because they ask questions like who, what, where, and why. These pages are filled with flaps. There's probably about 8 to 10 flaps on each page that you flip. This one's, of course, all about animals, but there's different topics that you can choose from. My son's loved these since he was about a year old. He's now 4.5 and still loves them. I love them as an adult. I learned things as an adult, and I just really love the illustrations in this book. So these are the Lift the Flap very first questions and answers. Another that was a huge hit and still is are the Busy Bug book, Busy Train book. There's helicopter and pirate ship. There's even some wind-up books that you can get. So these books have very simple storylines, just like a little bit of writing in there. But what's fun about them is they have these little tracks on each page. And then you have a little wind-up or a pull-back toy in the back of the book. I just keep this little clear cover that holds it in there. And you take the little wind-up and you pull it back. Or not the wind-up, but the pull-back bug, and just let him go along the tracks. And so, and he always falls off because I don't have him on a flat surface. But we really love the Busy Bug book and Busy Train book. We have lots of fun storybooks. This is one of my favorites. It's Dragon Post. There's a new Beast Feast one as well. This has cute little illustrations, and then has little postcards and letters that are written throughout the book. I feel like I'm not in the right spot for this video. Just scooch over a little bit. So this little boy has a pet dragon, and his dragon's hungry or he's blowing too much fire. And so you can pull out these like little letters that he writes the fire marshal and the butcher and different people to kind of get answers to some of his questions. And so they're just super cute. That one's writing to the butcher. That's kind of got a real silly storyline, like the butcher saying, you know, it would be very nice to meet your dragon. You know, it's just super silly. And it just has probably about 6 or 7 little postcards throughout. And lots of cute pictures. So it kind of talks about his little friendship with his dragon. And at the end, he decides that it's best that his little dragon gets to fly and be free, and he'll be more happy that way. And then at the end, he gets his little dragon post from his dragon. A newer one that we have are the Finger Trails ABCs. We have lots of fun ABC books, but this one is especially fun because it has lots very thick pages, very durable thick pages. It has lots of fun finger trails. My son likes these because he can kind of trace these letters. We're still he can sing his ABCs, but he can't quite recognize all of the letters, so we're working on that. And I think by giving them something to do while they're learning, it's going to help them to retain that information that they're trying to learn. And so this one has lots of fun stuff they can play with their fingers while they're learning. Usborne has so many awesome, amazing activity books. These are a couple that we love. The Magic Painting books are like a coloring book. It comes with like a little paintbrush. And then as they kind of dip that paintbrush in water, it reveals these little hidden colors. And we've taken like a water bottle cap to church, or you can take it to the restaurants or doctor's appointments, and your little kid can just color away with no mess at all. So the Magic Painting books are great. He really loves the Build Your Own. There's a really cute dragon one as well, superheroes, monster trucks, and all different topics. So what these books are, this one's a little scary, some monsters, but it has these little creatures that you're trying to build. It has little shadowed out areas where you build or add the stickers, kind of like a puzzle, to build your own monster. And so in the back it tells you what page each sticker kind of goes to. This is page 13, so you'd go and find page 13, and then you would build like a puzzle with those stickers. So we really like the dragon one a lot. If you have a little one that's learning to read, we have this amazing reading set, My First Reading Library. And so this has a library full of 50 books, and they're all little mini books. Oops. These take them through the different reading levels. It has a dual reader, so I don't think this is, I since mixed them up, so this isn't the very first one, but there's going to be a line. Let me see if I can find one that's a better example. So they're learning their very basic sounds, like tip, pat, mat. And then the parent will read this line up here, so it's kind of like a dual reader. So the parent reads this line, and then the child reads this line. It makes sense whether the child's just reading alone or whether the parent's reading with them. And it builds from each level until they can read independently by themselves. It has little tests and quizzes in the back just to make sure that they're retaining and learning the information. It also has a little bit of a parent's guide in there too, to kind of help the parent guide them through learning to read. So this is my first reading set. We have another one. I keep trying to say the other title, but it's really amazing. My sister-in-law's gotten it, some of our friends, and they say that their children have improved several reading levels and have learned to read with these sets. And teachers were super impressed and wondering what the parent was doing with their child to help them advance so quickly. So if you're trying to teach your child to read, or maybe your child's a little unsure of reading or struggles with reading, even if they're a little bit older, that would be a great book to reestablish some of those foundations of reading. And then the last three that I have are some great bedtime stories. This is a newer one. This is Fairy Tales for Little Children. It has some little foily stars on the cover. It's a hardcover, and it has all of my favorites. I've bought all these stories individually because I love the illustrations in them. But I decided to purchase the set so they're all combined in one. It has stories like The Princess and the Pea, Cinderella, Jack and the Beanstalk, and they're all just like super bright, vibrant, beautiful illustrations. Has the Goldilocks and the Three Bears, Little Red Riding Hood, and I think that's all of them. But they're just super really pretty, bright illustrations, and I know that your little ones will enjoy reading those for bedtime. Another of my kind of favorite hidden gems are animal stories for bedtime. So this has like a ribbon bookmark. It's a hardcover. These have some of our more classic bedtime stories, like The Ugly Duckling. So I like these ones because they have big illustrations, really pretty, and then they have some little illustrations as well. Kind of on each page, it has the tortoise and the hare, Musician's Brenneman, Chicken Little, Mouse Deer and the Crocodile, Billy Goat Gruff, which is one of my favorite stories for bedtime, Three Little Pigs, The Elephant's Nose, The Town Mouse, and The Country Mouse. So lots and lots of fun, like classic bedtime stories in there. And then for a little bit older readers, but I've been reading this to my son since he was about a year old for bedtime stories. We read like 1 or 2 fun stories and then a big boy story. And so this is some of the big boy stories. It's a padded hardcover ribbon bookmark. These stories are more kind of adventurous stories. They'd be good for a boy or a girl. They have multiple chapters and lots of illustrations. Stories like Phantom of the Opera, White Fang, King Solomon, Kidnapped, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You can find Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And then like has The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, which is one of my favorite in the story. So lots and lots of bedtime stories. There's a lot of these different illustrated classics like Norse myths. There's some Bible stories and different types of illustrated classics that are kind of combined volume for bedtime. So those are some of my favorites. I could be on here all day, but I won't do that to you. I just wanted to share some of the ones that we really love here at our home. In just a minute, I'll be hopping on and posting post number 1, the welcome post. Be sure to comment on each post. That will help you to gain all of your entries into the prize drawing. If you have any questions, please let me know, or if you want to see a little bit closer look into a book, just let me know which book, and I can give you a video link to check that out a little bit closer. And then we have flat rate shipping, so any order up to $75 is $6 flat rate shipping. It's pretty awesome. Those books are really heavy. I remember once I shipped a tiny little box about this big, and it cost like $4 or $5. But you can get a flat rate, big old box of books for $6. That's pretty awesome. And then anything above $75 is just 8% of the book total for shipping. And then every $40 that you spend, you get to choose a customer special at a discounted rate. We also on the website have a tab on the left side near the top for internet specials. So those books are also some discounted books as well. So I hope you guys have a great time. Thank you so much for joining us and taking time out of your busy lives to come check out this party. I'm excited to help you add some beautiful books to your home library and also give you some fun activity books that might help make life a little bit easier as your kids are out of school and home right now, just to help keep them entertained. So hope you guys have a wonderful time. Enjoy the party. Let me know if I can help, or if you'd like any personal recommendations. I would love to share some with you. In just a minute, I'll start posting and we'll get this party rolling. Thanks for joining us. Bye, guys.